Hey there, I'm Doug, and this is my island time. So today we're going to be taking a trip down to Monk's Beach. So let's take a look and see where or I should say, not to Monk, well, we're going to Monk's Beach, but we're going to the Monk Bath. So let's figure out where this place is. So let's get the computer up and take a look. All right, so we're on Google. We got to go to Maps. Let's find Maps. There it is. And we want to find the Monk's Bath. All right. And voila. There it is. They're on Hams Bluff Road. So, let's see here. Now, it looks like we have an entrance to the beach right over here. And then we'll just take a little walk and we'll get down there to the Monk's Bath. So, once we're all loaded up. All right, so I'm heading down to the Monk's Bath. And a little bit of history, myth, lore, whatever, about the Monk's Bath. It is said that the monk baths were created by the Knights of Malta, and the Knights were a religious order, and some people say that they created the monk's bath because they were cleaner than most, and so they decided to create the baths, or the bath, I should say. It's not a difficult place to get to, but it is pretty remote. It's interesting because Knights of Malta were in what's now Frederiksted, and they generally weren't considered to travel too far from where they headquartered themselves, and it's about 3.7 miles from the center of Frederiksted. Anyway, some people say that that is absolute truth. Some say that it's not. What we do know is that the Monk's Bath is roughly about 360 years old, and that's a guesstimate, but we really don't know. There is definitely, it's been carved out of the stone, and there is definitely something that looks like a man-made type pool. It looks like it was originally something where it was water under the rock, and they just carved it out and pulled that stone out of there. I don't know a whole lot more than that, but that's what I've been told. So that, and what I have also read that as well. So it's not coming just from other people stating that, it also is written as well. So let's get on our way. All right, so I have arrived down here at Monk's Beach, and the surf is pretty rough. We've had a number of earthquakes that have hit around the Caribbean, and it's creating some pretty rough surf. The tide has been up pretty high, and it looks that it is starting to go down, which is cool. So it's just a short walk down the beach to the Monk's Bath, and you can see the water hitting up against the rocks. It's pretty amazing, actually. We do get that splashing going on regularly, but usually we don't have as big a waves as what we're seeing here. Not that that's not totally unusual, but it is way churnier than normal. The sand is really getting tossed around. It's making the water not look so clear. Up we go down the beach. Lots of lovely tide pools that will be teeming with life in here, and will drain out here in the next hour or so as tide goes down. Usually when I come down here, tide isn't quite so high, and so the path is a lot drier. And some artwork that's been put up here on the beach from old buildings that have collapsed. Seems like nothing is super permanent here. Oh wow. The path over to the Monk's Bath is, well, here it is. Well, it is definitely foamy. Well, the water is rushing in at a feverish pace in all directions, and you can hear the sounds of the waves crashing. Well, nothing like getting wet. I'm sure that water is just moving super rapidly out of here. So we're gonna pop in, I think, maybe. High tide has hit, and so we're getting a lot of crashing waves. It is really making things fun over here. Look at all that foam. It's just amazing. It is so fun to go into the Monk's Bath. But I think if you do come here and want to enjoy the Monk's Bath, come during low tide instead of high tide like I've done here. I do have video of low tide, and we'll have that in here too. I recorded that a few days ago on a trip over. It is straight in the face. Anyway, I guess if the monks were heading out to take a bath in here, they would definitely do it during low tide. Because I can't see very much in the water. It's mostly foam. And if you come down in here during low tide, there's often fish in here, and so you get the colorful fish, and there's always crab on the beach, and it's an easy trip. If you like to hike and you're coming in on a cruise ship, you know, it's only 3.7 miles from the pier. Literally, you walk down the road and you'll pass the National Guard station, and that'll be close to halfway, and you continue down the road, and eventually you'll see a fence, and I'll make sure that we get a picture of that as I come up off the beach, so you can see where basically you need to head down onto Monk's Beach. If you've got good cell service, you can map it and put in the Monk's Bath, and you'll see where it is on the map. I know cell service isn't super great, but it should be good enough that it will get you down close. And then once you get to the point where it says, yeah, Monk's Bath is right down there, you can see the Monk's Bath from the road, but continue down the road a little bit further. That way you have easy entrance to Monk's Beach, and at Monk's Beach is where you want to come in. And then just come down onto the beach and head left. And just walk down the beach. It's not super far. Maybe a quarter mile at most. And most of the time, if you're on a cruise ship, you'll be able to come in when the tide is a little bit lower. That's the house, and it's closest, and you see the pink flowers that they have there, and the red flowers, and the ruins. You can just come down the hill there, or you can come down a little bit further where it's not so steep, or I should say less of a distance on the incline to get onto the beach. But it is beautiful out here. Like, subscribe, and join me on some of my other adventures here on the island. I've made St. Croix my home, so I'm wanting to give you all what I have to see and offer, and hopefully you'll want to come visit, because it has a lot to offer. We do have hurricanes here, so best time of year to come is during the off hurricane season, which is beginning of December until end of May. And if you keep your eye on what hurricanes are doing, you can come during the off season when it's not so busy here and there's not so many tourists, and you can catch it when you can be, I wouldn't say all by yourself. If you want to be all by yourself, come in at the end of August when everything shuts down and everybody's wanting to see you so that they can afford to keep their doors open during that time. But the scuba is great here. Some of the best places in the world for scuba is here at St. Croix. We'll have to do some scuba treks with you guys and see how that goes. Well, I'm just about back up to my truck, and I'm going to head home. But this is the wall, and this is the point where I like to come down in. It's easy and a lot safer than some of the other paths. Alright, well, we're going to end this here, but like and subscribe if you haven't already, and have a wonderful day. And if you're here on St. Croix, make sure to drive on the left side.